Good evening, everybody. Welcome to America's Third Party. I'm David Sponheim. This is our Conspiracy Monday show. We are happy to bring you. We've been doing this show for a long, long time, and we don't mind taking on issues that are difficult to comprehend or understand or even agree with. We've talked a lot about the dangers of the New World Order on this evening. We've talked about how we've been lied to, about the obvious cover-up with 9/11. Clearly, there were explosions in the buildings. The 9/11 Commission report never even dealt with that. They never even considered that. We've talked about the false flaggery that's been going on for so many, many years now, ever since Sandy Hook. And now we're seeing people like Alex Jones, who have the same views I do, or allege he has the same views I do about Sandy Hook, facing off with Megyn Kelly and making it seem like a joke. Everything is a joke with Alex Jones. He seems to have an endless ability to constantly turn everything that's true into some sort of a catastrophic statement. He turned an interview with Megyn Kelly into a discussion of human alien, or rather human animal cloning. I mean, it's absurd. So the technique they use is to trivialize the truth so that you'll think that anybody who questions anything is a whack job. There are people contending that I did something I didn't do on the internet. There's people that are stalking me right now. I'm being censored by the network I'm broadcasting on a daily basis, and the owner seems to want to lie about that. We can't control whether he lies or not. The Sandy Hook thing was very strange in that the school was shut down for about a year and a half due to asbestos contamination. And they opened it up that day, and no children were in that school. And we know from the state of Connecticut's redacted videotape that no one evacuated from that school. So anyone who claims that these things happened, I never did that with this woman who claims she's making outrageous claims. I never did anything with that woman. And what's really disturbing is she claims that she's the victim here when she's the one who came into our show and then said, "I'm your greatest fan," and then lured Sarah and I into a Skype chat, and in which she proceeded to attempt to commit suicide. It was the most horrific thing I've ever seen in my life. I didn't know what to do for this poor person, and to this day, she needs to get help. She really does. I never, ever expected this person to go this weird, this delusional, after we literally saved her life many years ago when she was in Skype trying to kill herself. I know. Now, I don't think we need to talk about other people's teeth either. I think that's irrelevant. I appreciate you mentioning it, not mentioning it though. The last thing I want to do is denigrate this person who's clearly stalking me. So let's just leave it as a non-issue right now. Trump seems to be breaking Obama's rule in Syria, and it's working. Not really. Trump is creating more of a battle in Syria. A possible ground war with Assad is coming. It's imminent. And the future of our country is dependent on our ability to detach at the hip from the deep state. And many of you alt-right people have been told that somehow ABC, NBC, CBS, they're the deep state. Actually, they may have been at one time, but now they're wondering why Donald Trump is so closely associated with Henry Kissinger. Because Henry Kissinger is ostensibly the poster child of the deep state. And if we stand around ignoring this simple reality that Trump is deep into the Henry Kissinger meeting, he actually talked about increasing activity in Syria with Kissinger the day he fired Comey. Trump violated laws when he did that. He committed obstruction of justice, and that will eventually come to haunt him, even when he admitted it. All right. We're going to try to not talk about other people in other chat rooms, so please kind of minimize it. Thank you. I've got a lot of things to talk about. This invisible fence idea is our newest concept, which we think we can do for under or right around $5 billion, as opposed to any of the bids that Trump is getting for his wall. To remind you, these are my original ideas. The 1,000-mile fence, I came up with the distance we needed to cover to gain safety. The no refugee plan is my idea. Donald Trump morphed it into a no Muslim plan, which has now affected our country's ability to keep Muslims or anyone out of the country. You see, Donald went ahead and decided that these plans were good, even though they hadn't been exactly copied from what I had said. Now, it's ironic that he does this, but he morphs my ideas into his ideas, and then he screws up. But today he's trying to cover his ass in such a big way that he's gathering with his cabinet, and they have the strangest conference they've ever had right in front of the American people. They all kissed his ass. The invisible wall, let me tell you a little bit about it. I'll get back to Trump getting his ass kissed in a little bit. The invisible wall has, it's a beam, essentially, a microwave beam that people will know is there because they'll be told, do not enter or go farther because you will be affected by the beam. There'll be motion detectors. Even animals will be told this, even though they don't understand it. They may just walk into it, but we'll have a fence that'll guard animals from getting into it. So the fence will be a very light fence just to keep animals or anyone, from getting through. And then if they break through that barrier with all the signs and symptoms of it crashing on them, they're going to get hot skin. So it's really technology that involves heating up your skin.
A roughly antenna-sized beam downrange. Those holes that you see in the antenna are for the cameras and other visual equipment that the operator uses so that he knows exactly where that beam is going.
It's operated by a joystick. The operator looks into the console, sees exactly what that antenna is aimed at, moves the joystick left, antenna slews to the left, same way to the right. Then when there's an individual who's identified as a troublemaker, he has a cursor. He can put that cursor on that individual, pull the trigger that's on the joystick, and the energy is sent downrange at the speed of light.
The electromagnetic radiation released by the active denial system.
So essentially it heats up your skin and you stay away from it. You immediately move in the opposite direction and the heat intensifies. So this technology is going to be the saving grace of the idea that I preserved, the 1,000-mile fence idea. Trump's engagement in telling people that Mexico is going to pay for this is ridiculous. They could never pay for it, nor would they have to. It really shows you how Trump forces other people to do free work for him, which is another serious problem. There is a slight problem with microwaves and heart-related issues. You can get arrhythmia from standing next to your microwave too long. You may want to look into that. Yes, we're sure it works without frying people. The invisible fence has been tested, except they call it an active denial system, and it's being used for crowd control. In no way would I use it for crowd control. Dude, I don't have 31 viewers. It's a joke. You guys don't realize Mark is keeping my numbers down completely. It's absolutely bizarre how he continues to pretend like he's not doing this and he's doing it. Yeah, well, Trump can consider firing Robert Mueller if he wants, but it won't look very good. Nixon did the same thing with someone, and it cost him the Watergate trial and then eventually the resignation. So he can't possibly expect to win. Look, the American people and the Supreme Court's already said, we don't want your ideas. They're ridiculous. The number of people at the border being held back because they have a green card is ridiculous. We are allowing 4,000 Muslims to come into the country every day. Actually, in May, 4,000 Muslims came in because Trump can't get his travel ban passed because it's illegal. It violates freedom of religion. No, the fence will not be hackable. It's going to have internal components that will be linked to a network that will be encrypted. I'm not addicted to cannabis. If I were to, well, I do frequently not smoke or vape, and I don't have any withdrawal symptoms at all. So when you say addiction to cannabis, that's impossible to be physically addicted to cannabis. Yeah, Mark is just pumping up the view count. It's ridiculous. It's becoming almost a disastrous attraction he's created. He can be laughing at me all he wants, but the reality is everyone who comes into this show sees the censorship screens pop up and saying VIP capacity server has been met. Everybody. We're laughing at him. The world is laughing at Mark lying, and I think he's suffering from some depression because of what he's doing. There's a serious karmic backlash to illegally knocking somebody off the air to receive money in exchange. So, I mean, good luck with that, Mark. You're paying some serious karmic dues there. It's going to bounce back and haunt you eventually. You can't do this to people, man. Hey, NASA's going to launch a rocket to spawn artificial clouds. What a joke. I mean, they're literally telling you we're going to dump things in your atmosphere, and you're okay with that. A lot of people don't even care. Terrier improved Malamute launch. Ustream. Oh, great. Well, that'll happen at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so it's not happening now for some reason. Typical NASA operation. Watch live. In other words, it doesn't work. Dude, nobody's laughing at me. You may be one of those few people that don't understand what I'm doing, but Mark's attempt to censor me for years now has been noted, and we're very concerned that this is a nonstop thing. This summer, we're going to be developing another alternative chat room for guests. So we know that guests really want to get in here. Sarah doesn't really understand the need for guests, but we're fighting the deep state. Donald Trump and Henry Kissinger are starting a war in Syria. We're stopping the Dow and Monsanto corporations and their endless desire to kill off the planet. We are up against the wall here, and the reason why I'm being censored is because I'm the last barrier to this insanity. What this insanity is going to lead to is this: global nuclear war. And if we don't recognize the need for a third party right now, we're never going to be able to get this stopped. This is a process by which these people think that they're going to survive a global nuclear war. Elitists believe they can go down underground and survive. They're absolutely foolish to believe that, but they believe it. There's not much I can do to correct their thoughts, but they're in charge, we're not. So the invisible fence is just a way to protect our borders from illegal immigration. Elitists want open immigration. They want Muslims to come to this country. Elitists know that Donald Trump is never going to be able to stop the UN. They have him by the balls, the elitists do. So when Trump talks about things, it's all talk, no action. These are key ideas to helping our country get back on track. The Homestead Renewal Plan gets people home ownership and jobs. Last year we did a live viewer count. It reached over $7 billion, 7 billion people. 814 says, wow, that's amazing. The number is phenomenal. Cumulative live viewership is hard to assess. How high will it be? It'll be high enough to not be able to jump with a pole vault. Even motion detectors will perceive everything within a 50-foot height and depth as well. We're going to have X-ray motion detector systems that can detect tunneling, like the kind that goes down in Nogales, New Mexico. There have been over 116 tunneling operations by the cartels in that one area. So we'll be able to see that with X-ray equipment. I can't help that person. Well, the fence is a great idea. Again, Donald hasn't stolen that idea yet, but it's just a matter of time. He was recently talking about using solar panels to power up the electric fence. I'm the guy who created the lethal electric fence with Sarah, and now we've converted it to an invisible fence, which is also lethal electric. But Donald Trump is still talking about putting solar panels, which was my idea 3 years ago. It's just amazing how he continually borrows ideas from us and acts like they're original. 41 people watching from CBGBs? No kidding, man. How you doing, CBGB? It's not gay, just saying. It's designed to keep our country safe from an onslaught of people that could very well come up from Mexico in case there's a major earthquake in Mexico City and no supplies. All of our southern states would be inundated by millions of people. We would be unable to deal with our current economy would topple. I'm trying to prevent that from happening. His 1,000 viewers are server echoes. That's correct. CBGB closed? Oh, I'm sorry. They're outside of a closed restaurant watching me. How pathetic. Dude, I have to cast here because I've got a huge audience I brought over from Blog TV here 5 years ago. My audience comes to this show because that's where we moved from Blog TV. I brought 1 million people in here, and Mark Vaughn never even said thank you. And he's making tons of money censoring me. So look, I got other issues way worse than Mark Vaughn censoring me to deal with. I have to. And don't call me an asshole because you're the asshole. Okay? Yeah. I think you might want to apply some hemorrhoid cream because it's probably pretty itchy by now. Secret Service reportedly has no Trump tapes. Again, obstruction of justice does not surprise me. Trump has already gotten a hold of the Secret Service and told them not to in any way reveal the tapes that they have. Trump is engaging in more obstruction of justice. Of course, the NSA tapes the White House. And of course, the Secret Service does it. They've been doing it for the past 60 years, almost, since John F. Kennedy was president. Yeah. So there are tapes, they're just lying. This is another layer in the obstruction of justice that Donald Trump is engaged in. He knows that these tapes will implicate him and make him reverse his opinion, whatever it is. Dude, for the last time, yeah, make it your last time, because the censorship is real. People come in here from other countries, they can't get in here. I have millions of viewers, absolutely, and they can't reach us because of the censorship. And I can't open another network because when I do, it's targeted. I have a Periscope show running right now, and I don't even have it up and running to look at. Let me take a look at it. Let me view the Periscope. You will see that when you... I have a Periscope show running right now, and I don't even have it up and running to look at. Let me take a look at it. Okay, when you go and look at this video signal, you'll see that you're having a hard time getting in here. Scissor Fight went in there with his normal Periscope account. It wouldn't work. Great, the broadcast is on frequency 12750 if you're on shortwave radio, folks. Yeah, so that is a classic example right there of Periscope locking me out. My show airs in Amish communities. That's right. Dave, my cousin was in a bar down in Kentucky and your show is playing. That's great. Hey, a lot of people in America are using alcohol to get through this. I would much rather you were using marijuana to get through this because marijuana doesn't have the physical addiction that alcohol has. So I'm hoping that when I legalize all of marijuana in America, as well as cannabis, weed, any kind of cannabis, I hope that this will help a lot of people who are suffering from serious addictions, whether it's alcohol or heroin or crystal meth or coke, or in the case of Elon Musk, he claims that he uses a crack to stay awake. I mean, these are things that you just don't need, you know. I am aware of the CIA Operation Mockingbird. It was first revealed by Senator Frank Church in the 1975, in which he talked about it and the dangers of the government creating news. And they've been doing this for some time. They've been engaged in creating news. Here's Frank Church from 1975 to talk about it.
I thought that it was a matter of real concern that planted stories intended to serve a national purpose abroad came home and were circulated here and believed here, because this would mean that the CIA could manipulate the news in the United States by channeling it through some foreign country. Now we're looking at that very carefully.
Do you have any people being paid by the CIA who are contributing to a major circulation American journal? We do have people who submit pieces to American journals. Do you have any people paid by the CIA who are working for television networks? This, I think, gets into the kind of getting into the details, Mr. Chairman, that I'd like to get into in executive session.
At CBS, we had been contacted by the CIA. As a matter of fact, by the time I became the head of the whole News and Public Affairs operation in 1954, the ships had been established, and I was told about them and asked if I'd carry on with them. We have quite a lot of detailed information, and we will evaluate it, and we will include any evidence of wrongdoing or any evidence of impropriety in our final report and make recommendations.
To have any people being paid by the CIA who are contributing to the national news services, AP and UPI. Well, again, I think we're getting into the kind of detail, Mr. Chairman, that I'd prefer to handle in executive session.
And the news organizations, do you final report?
That remains to be decided.
I think it was entirely in order for our correspondents at that time to make use of CIA agent chiefs of station and other members of the executive staff of CIA as sources of information which were useful in their assessments of world conditions.
That's one way to walk around it. Yeah, so they've been doing this for a long time. Yep. I know Mark is pulling a number of things here on the site. Mitar said that he openly admitted to getting $100,000 a month censoring me. Mitar, thank you. We have been watching the government do Operation Mockingbird ever since the 70s through private concerns. They decided that they didn't want any oversight. After Frank Church did that, they got rid of all the public agencies and operations the CIA were involved in. So now they contract out to private venues to do this. They use a company called Tavistock, and they've been using it since the 1930s, really, or 1946 is when Tavistock was first developed. But they actually get $7 billion a year from the CIA to engineer programming to mind control the population. Don't mention the thing that's top secret. Okay. There's so many things that are top secret. It's amazing. I'd have nothing to say if I couldn't mention things that are, at least publicly top secret. It's Conspiracy Monday. Yeah, we take on all these issues. We got Botswana listening in. Botswana, Africa wants to find out more about where America will be going when I'm president. And I don't blame them for being concerned because America seems to be engaged in economic hits on countries like Venezuela. Right now, Goldman Sachs is down there buying property at pennies on the dollar because they literally, the government and the CIA have done an economic hit on Venezuela over the past 5 years. And ever since Hugo Chavez is died, they virtually turned that country into a third world nation beyond belief, and they're trying to buy it up because they want the oil-rich land that they have in Venezuela. So that's what's going on. Yeah, Mark blocks Dave's messages to millions, but we have EOHF, exactly. But the millions of people can't see the daily chat unless I put that on the screen. We got 200 people from Hopalong, New Jersey. Yeah. You got all chat for a chat tango? Cool. You got an alternate chat tango over there? Okay. I need something with controls, but that's something to look at. Thanks, Jackson. I'll take a look at the alt chat over there. I've no lies at all. I don't spend my time lying to you. I tell you all my concerns, and my greatest concern is a man who just recently made this a public story. I'll show it to you. Watch this. This will freak you out. This is a person by the name of Robert Steele. He's fairly well known. He's come out openly about our government, and he gets censored quite a bit. But listen to what he has to say. This is going to freak you out. I hate to freak you out on Conspiracy Monday, but you might as well listen to this. This is going to be the worst thing you could possibly hear. Listen to this.
When Pizzagate to Pedogate to so forth, that can no longer be repressed. The Republican Party has historically been the party that is most connected to Wall Street, the Illuminati, and the Satanists that use pedophilia as well as, this is a very delicate topic. It turns out that drinking children's blood is an anti-aging device. This is just really sick and disgusting, but it's a fact. It's a chemical fact. And if you drink adrenalized children's blood, which is to say you terrorize the child, not just with sodomy, but with torture and with other satanic ritual things, if you adrenalize the child's blood before you kill them and drink their blood, This is a doubly effective anti-aging device. You can also harvest children's bone marrow. So children are being killed for their bone marrow as an anti-aging device for the elite. I don't make this stuff up. This is what I'm being told and reading about. Yes, it is terrible, Sarah. It is something that has gone on. It's gone on throughout history. This is not new, and it's not unique to the Americans, okay? The Saudis and the Afghans do as much child terrorizing and as much child sodomy as 1/10 of Wall Street, okay? I mean, they're really big on this stuff. So from where I sit, Saudi Arabia is evil at multiple levels, including child sodomy and child murder. In the United States of America, as well as the United Kingdom, law enforcement from the national services, Scotland Yard and the FBI, all the way down to the local police jurisdictions, turn a blind eye on pedophilia. In fact, the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department, which is ground zero for pedophilia, has the pedophilia symbol in its badge.
How's it going, guys? We have another video here today.
Okay, so you just saw one of the most disturbing things ever. David Steele talking about the existence of pedophilia in America and how it's not being reported properly at the highest level. And the reason is the elitists actually drink the blood of children that are being tortured. I don't know, I couldn't have even imagined saying that 8 years ago. I couldn't even imagine thinking that 8 years ago. He's not hilarious. Hey there, UHF chatter. So there are people all around the world right now that are missing their kids, and even the guy who's the chief of police in Washington, D.C. is ignoring all kinds of referrals made to him. A group of people on the internet sent a big packet of referrals of all the child pornography that should be stopped. Gave it to the chief of police in D.C., Peter Newsham, and he literally hasn't done anything about it. And those sites are still up, allegedly. So they're purposely hiding and protecting these pedophiles that are literally using missing children and killing them. And I'll tell you something, the alleged statements about people like James Alefantis and John Podesta and Hillary Clinton were part of the Pizzagate reveal in the WikiLeaks, and now the government's suppressing the source of those WikiLeaks. An investigation into Seth Rich is currently being suppressed at the highest level. Mark can make up numbers of viewers. He's got a fictitious site he's developed. He's doing it because he can, and he thinks it's legal to do, and he may be in gross violation of fairness doctrine, as well as the RICO Act. But I'm not here to dispense with this show because Mark is censoring me. I have millions of people that needed to come to a place and talk every night, and we had to go to Vaughn when Blog TV was bought out by what appears to be an agent of the government. We had huge numbers on Blog TV. We were skyrocketing 5 years ago, and they literally bought the entire network up for $5 million, and a guy who must have had some deal with the government because he was the creator of a documentary about pedophiles. You don't make documentaries about pedophiles unless you're paying back some crime. He created this pedophile video called Chicken Hawk, and he then had somehow the money to create a network called YouNow, which absorbed Blog TV and now features 8-year-old children, which is really, really weird. Now, we have an account there, but I don't even want to broadcast around, so many children. So we decided to move to Vaughn 5 years ago, and then about 2 years ago, no, he can't do that. He's violating the Fairness Doctrine as well as the RICO Act. I can't go anywhere else because I'm being censored everywhere else. Every time we direct people like to our Periscope site, we don't get a lot of people coming in. Anyway, that's the link to the video that we just got.
Probably my
Cornell and Paul McCartney admit in interviews they are replacements. Wow. Interesting.
first and foremost musical influence was the Beatles.
I'm actually not Chris Cornell, I'm an actor. He died years ago, and his management just decided, well, they looked at what happened when Paul McCartney died and how they pulled that off so well, and I was hired. I'm taller than the original guy by 3 inches, but nobody ever really seemed to notice that.
Wow, that's a blockbuster reveal. This is cool. This is the kind of bread and butter stuff we play in our evening show. People that are making people really double think everything. I don't lie at all, ever. I've never lied. I make a point. Honesty is the best policy. It's always been my policy in life. I'll be searching for Elizabeth Bathory right now. No, I got this. No, I got this at Walmart. It cost $1. It's a clearance special from their George collection. It's pretty cool for $1. But let me get to this Washington D.C. police chief. He actually publicly met with James Alefantis to give him approval to kind of bolster the whole Comet Pizza thing up and prop the story up. And look at the people that have approached Peter Newsham, the chief of police in Washington, D.C., about their missing children. Look at this. It's unbelievable. Watch this.
So as long as we have Peter Newsham, and as long as we have cops pimping out kids, and as long as we have transgenders having foursomes and sharing it with their coworkers and interns, we're not going to have this problem solved. Not anytime soon. We're going to have to start getting to the streets, people. That's the truth. If people can get to the streets over Russia hacking, something that doesn't even exist, there's no reason we can't get to the streets on an important issue like this. And I understand that goes for me as well. Tell me what you think about it, guys. Comment, rate, subscribe. Please share the video. Have a good day.
A young person was in tears as she stood before Mayor Muriel Bowser and Police Chief Peter Newsham while expressing her concerns about the number of young people listed on MPD's list of missing persons.
We need help. The disturbing fact is that we do have that many kids that go missing in our city, and it's been that way for a long time.
Okay, so you just heard Peter Newsham say it's a disturbing fact that we do have that many kids missing in Washington, D.C., and it's been happening a long time. Is that a person that's going to solve child abductions in his own city? No, it's not. It's a person who's playing games. He's posing with James Alefantis, protecting him, giving him support. The alleged statements about Alefantis and Podesta are so disturbing. That's why I played that video of David Steele earlier. The alleged statement that these people are harvesting children for their blood is so insane that we need to look into this. Now, John Podesta has a secret place on the West Coast in Sonoma County. We calls it a chicken pizza factory. We have aerial photographs of that being dug up and turned into some sort of a laboratory of sorts. We don't know if people are being held against their will there, but we have the location. We know for sure that this place does exist underground. We've seen aerial photographs of it. So whatever John Podesta is allegedly up to, we need to find out more. If we don't, our country is at risk. Your children are at risk. And I'm not trying to say this because it's some campaign slogan to save the children. We really are dealing with the worst possible people. I don't lie, man. I'm telling you. It's not a control freak. I just don't lie as a rule. Okay, so these stories are extremely disturbing, but I've got some good news. I did get the computer that I had. We broke a computer a couple of months ago. I did get it running.
That's cool.
Yeah, I decided to put the video card back in, and I started it up, and I got it running. So it's running in there. I just need you to hook up a password on the later, not now, but welcome home.
Okay.
We just need the password for the Wi-Fi node.
Oh, okay. Got it.
I tweeted 2 messages today on Twitter that were, I think, important. You know, I've got a couple things going. I'm starting to Twitter more. I don't want to be a person dedicated to tweeting when I'm running the country. I think it's incredible.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, but it's good to tweet once a day.
Yeah.
Not when you're running the country, but before.
Right.
Okay, not sure if you want this.
Yeah, I'll test it out, sure.
It works.
Great. It might be something we can use.
Something I was going to get rid of.
We could take it on, trips or whatever.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to tell you this is I called this must watch the deliberately apprentice show as opposed to the Celebrity Apprentice show. these guys pretending to be, apprentices, obviously, giving Donald support. Every one of them is a yes man. That's not funny, 461. That's a racist statement. Oh, you can wait. It's okay.
It's okay. That's why I'm here.
Sarah's not a victim. We're both very happy, and we have a wonderful relationship. So, thank you. Oh, that's awesome. We don't know yet whether we're going on a summer trip. I'm hoping that we'll be able to get a secondary chat room going.
Possibly not.
So we may not go. We may be fixated on that. Either way, we're going to have a fun summer, whether we leave or go. So then I tweeted another thing over here called, so now it's a bad thing that Comey documents meetings in writing? Maybe Trump should learn to write versus Kofifi. And then this article pops up. Really, it's disturbing how they're trying to pick Comey apart, saying he may have misled the Senate committee. I'll give you the link to this. It's kind of a joke. I mean, Comey had 2 pages worked up on George W. Bush, and they're calling it's a lie that he somehow, didn't mention that when he referring to the question, have you done this with other presidents? So they're trying to discredit Comey any way they can. I might. I can travel anywhere. I have lots of money. It's not like I need money. I retired at the age of 50, unlike Trump, who's still working because he's in debt to $2.4 billion. All right, so, oh, sorry, I went to the wrong way. Yeah, I'm gonna switch out because I was in this chair earlier today doing some fun stuff.
Okay.
No, Comey has total credibility in my eyes.
You like it because it doesn't show the background, huh?
Yeah. And then Comey is already on record with his sworn testimony. He has no reason to lie about this, at least about the Russian thing. He may have reason to lie about the Hillary investigation. I was a little bit disturbed when he kind of evaded Senator McCain's discussion and made a few statements about the Russians' involvement. I think that Comey knows that the Russians weren't involved in the release of the WikiLeaks that affected Podesta and Hillary. I think we know now, but we don't have confirmation yet. We know now that Seth Rich is most likely the person. And why the government is not investigating Seth Rich, that's at the center of the conspiracy that they're trying to cover up the Pizzagate story. So it really kind of wraps up into a nice tight little conspiracy theory that our government is willfully suppressing information about a group of people that use pedophilia to control Washington, D.C. politicians. That's what's happening. And that's a big story. But in the meantime, let's talk about how we're going to help you.
Oh, did you hear there's so Washington Post or one of the newspapers is actually suing Trump because they were saying that all of the money that he's received through his businesses, through foreign interests, could pose a problem.
Oh, really?
Yes, and so there's been other lawsuits related to the ownership of
conflict of interest.
Yes, but especially the emoluments clause.
Oh, good. The emoluments clause is really something Trump is really violated, we think. Okay, we're on default microphone, so that's good. Yeah, our audio microphone is a Logitech 920 HD camera. We have yet to perfect our audio again. We had a failure of a condenser mic, and we haven't replaced it with anything.
Oh, the AT2020 went down. And all those.
Okay. AT2020 has been disconnected a long time, yeah.
Yeah.
We just don't have it anymore. It doesn't work very well. So I got to tell you that there's a couple people out here stalking me. Ironically, the people that are stalking me claim also to be suicidal. So when they come up with delusional statements that are fabrications, I want you to discredit them because these people are obviously in need of serious professional help. Yeah. And I would urge you to get them help if you know these people.
All right.
Okay, we're going to shut down guest chat for a little while I give Sarah the role.
Either way.
Well, I'll let her shut it off with guest chat off if you guys violate her sensibilities. No, she's not a victim. That's ridiculous. Okay, I think I better shut it down because it's just they're going to start spamming you, and the numbers we have overseas are phenomenal. We just don't have a lot of people in our chat room because Mark is purposely censoring us on a daily basis. All right, I'll be back. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Yeah, I
Should I
will.
be in this chair? I guess I'll sit
Whatever
in
you
this
want.
chair. So I'm going to be in it. There we go. Certain people have been restless all day. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Good. Took you a while to get in. Well, what I don't understand, and I don't think I ever will, is all of the how David's asked me to go on these other sites and yet doesn't want to chat on them. All right, Periscope people, hello. Thank you for being here. One moment and I'll get up. I'll say hi to other people. Von Live people, hello. I can see your chat now, so if you want to say hi back, you can. I do believe that there are devices out there to control the weather, and you can call those chemtrails. Hello, Mystify Me. Hello, Patrick. Devices out there to control the weather. All right, I can see the YouTube chat now, so hello, YouTube chatters. Well, it's just one watching. That's me, because, well, because. I think, yes, why not, Bowie? I have to go along with it. There's nothing, hello, Ron Brown. There's no point in saying I'm not censored. I didn't sound too convinced of the chemtrails answer. Okay. Thank you, upset woman. You're an advocate for women who are upset about how the world is working. You're a fan of my being the strong woman that I am. Thank you. I'm a pretty strong woman. Okay. Periscope, YouTube, Battlecam, and Vaughn Live. Let me just go check Battlecam then. Not all of them, King Dave. I have, I'm very happy with my dentist and my people who make them look real. They do a pretty good job, right? I think they do an excellent job. So, right. Oh, okay. Amber is the woman that rules the house. Yes, most of the day, Flat. You're right. Yeah, I know. Isn't it amazing? We have excellent ability in the United States, and I spent some money on these for sure, but yeah, they look realistic, and most of them are real. So I love fries. I do. Exactly. There are weather modification patents, so yes, chemtrails can be real. I'm glad I made you laugh. No, David's not kinky. He can be romantic, but kinky, no. Just one of those things. He doesn't go that way. He's just like a super straight-laced person. I do, Durston. Do you believe in God? I do. I'm more of a, if anything, I'm more of a Taoist. And but I do believe in God. I believe in a higher power. Do you think Sparks will be flying soon? Well, I'll talk to Mark. I think Mark and I could be friends. I have some admiration for him, but I don't think David does. No, David and I have both been to Mexico. Admiration for him, but I don't think David does. Neither of us have been to... David's been to Canada, but that's the only place I've been that's outside of our country is Mexico. All right, upset woman wants to send a petition to Trump to have... I don't think you sending a petition to Trump is going to accomplish anything like that. Mark Vaughn has over 1,200 viewers right now. And Ghost thinks the chat isn't moving fast enough in there for it to be 1,200. Maybe he's... And UHF says, check his viewer count. You think it's rigged? If it is rigged, maybe he's working on rigging it so I can think I have more viewers. Okay. Thanks, Doopster. Yes, mystify me. Don't send messages to strangers online. Stranger danger. Something that scares you so much? Except it's not me banging on the drums. I wish it were. I wish I could say it was me, but I can't get my neck to look like that. I don't think I can do it. But, of course... Well, maybe they're all interested in just listening, Ghosts. Yeah, that's not me. Alright, thank you. Oh, sorry, V. Vorpalbite. David purged your text and now you're muted. Oh, I'm sorry, Vorpal. Do you want me to unmute you? Hello, we love to play. Alright, Doopster. Well, I'm sorry. I would just... Never mind. I don't even know if I'm spelling Vorpalbite right in Vaughn Live to try to unban you. Well, I should believe David has between 300 million and 3 billion viewers worldwide. Because what's the point of not believing it? ARB. Alright, and we love to play. Good. Or actually, it could be zillions of viewers. So, what's Mark talking about on his show? Oh, wait. I'm not supposed to talk about other shows in here. I'm sorry. Oh, I think I have to purge you, upset woman. Why don't you go check out Mark Vaughn's show? I think you'll learn more there. Radio waves do carry out into the universe. I agree with that, Patrick. Yes, it's taken hard work and 9 years to be where we are. I don't know, Mary Kovivi. Well, David believes he's censored, and David believes he has lots and lots of viewers. Everyone's always trying to watch his show. And there's probably 1,200 people trying to watch his show. Especially all the UHF viewers. Oh, I know. Well, I can't blame them for having a crush on David. I mean, he's so handsome. So I know they could be. It could be that person, I Love Fries, or that other person. I didn't realize Cookie had a big crush on David. All right, UHF chatter. Well, I built that website, Upset Woman. So now you're making me upset. Because obviously I didn't do a great job on the website or something. Okay, Doopster. Well, they used to say, you know, children should be seen and not heard. Well, obviously I'm not trying hard enough. I guess I'll be working more on it this summer. Try some more. What websites do you like the best, Upset Woman? What should I model the site after? Maybe I should model it after Vaughn. Chemtrails are not invisible. You can see them in the sky against the blue backgrounds. Usually they're like white or gray. Thanks, I Love Fries. All right. Can't you just see them? Hello, ASDEXVBB. Thanks for joining our Periscope show. How are you today? Today is Monday. Yay. And we finished our Bible trivia. Well, because it's just the way it is. Flat. It's how it mixes together. Yeah, exactly. Bowie. I'm glad he finds it humorous. Well, how do I get my website to not reek of bad vibes? David's website. How do I get it to happen that it doesn't reek of bad vibes? How do I purge the bad vibes from his site? Everybody likes to rake on sites, but they never like to give answers. Oh, thanks, Kenny. You're so sweet. You always say the nicest things to me. I appreciate it so much. No, well, on the tail end, Kenny. Thanks. No, he would never do that, Upset Woman. I'm super happy. All right. First clue in trivia tonight. The category, by the way, is mythology and folklore. Oh, because I've been gaining weight lately, Kenny. I've been eating lots and lots of chocolates and peanut butter and anything that I can do to gain weight so that people stop giving me compliments online. No, but I was yesterday, Kenny. All right. Who were 9 goddesses of classical mythology who presided over learning and the arts? They were essentially associated with, or were especially associated with poetry. Durston is correct. No, Doopster, I'm not pregnant. Because, as I told Kenny, I was just having that time of my month. My monthly menstrual cycle. All right, so it was muses. Ancient Greek or Roman writers would often begin their poems by asking for the aid of the muses in their composition. Writers and artists to this day speak of their muse, meaning their source of inspiration. Oh, now I'm going to get rid of you. Well, it's the muses, Frankenstein. There, I took out Kenny. Oh, no. Didn't see that coming at all. Did you give moment of silence for Pulse? For the Pulse nightclub? Has it been a year, Captain? I know, Frankenstein. What? No. Upset woman, we're moving on. What is a beautiful youth in classical mythology who fell in love with his own reflection in a pool? Because he was unable to tear himself away from the image, he wasted away and died. Durston, you must know your mythology. Good job. Buckra, you are correct. It is a narcissist. Narcissists are people completely absorbed with themselves. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to mute you. It's all Greek to you. That's pretty funny, Bowie. It is Greek mythology, Greek and Roman. All right. In classical mythology, who was the Greek goddess of vengeance? It's another word for an avenger. If somebody has this, they will bring on one's destruction or downfall. Hello, XBXQ. Buckra has it correct. No, I don't want your password. It is a nemesis. A nemesis is the Greek goddess of vengeance. And so nemesis is an avenger, or one's nemesis is that which will bring on one's destruction or downfall. Yeah, nemesis was a chick. Wow, who knew? Oh, I don't check my IMs, Dupster. Just FYI. Oh, okay. Mystify and Dupster are talking. All right. New clue. What is the Roman and Greek god who ruled the sea? He is frequently portrayed as a bearded giant with a fish's scaly tail holding a three-pronged spear or trident. The 8th planet from the sun is named after him. Matchbox has it right. Neptune. Good job, Matchbox. Neptune. All right, what is the mythology of Scandinavia called? It was also widespread in Germany and Britain until the establishment there of Christianity. For the people and places most important in this type of mythology, there's Odin, Thor, trolls, and Valhalla. Bag End Audio is right. Captain is right. It is Norse mythology. Good job. That's funny. That's a cute thing, Frankenstein. There you go, Patrick. We count planets from the sun going out. Aliens count from the outermost down to the sun. Good point. All right. Who was the villain in the stories of Robin Hood? With the googly eye, like that? I don't know. Yes, probably. Prince John? Matchbox is on the right track. Bowie has it correct. The Sheriff of Nottingham. Kevin Costner was Robin Hood. I don't know who played the sheriff. Good job, Matchbox. Okay, that's muted. Good. All right. You don't like Kevin Costner? I love that song in Robin Hood. Anything I do, I'll do it for you. There is no way unless your way. Anyway, I like that. I like that song. Bryan Adams. Yes, I do. I do like the song by Bryan Adams. It's true. All right. Who were female spirits of classical mythology who lived in forests or bodies of water and other places outdoors? By extension, some people call any beautiful or seductive woman one of these. Bag End Audio is right, and so is Durston. A nymph. A nymph. A beautiful or seductive woman. The sirens were mainly in the islands, right? Whereas the nymphs are living in the forests and the water, lakes. All right, in Norse mythology, who was the solemn ruler of the gods? He was god of wisdom, poetry, farming, and war. Bowie is correct, and Bag End Audio is correct, and Dano. Hi, Dano. Welcome back. I feel like you've been gone for like a couple weeks, like you were on vacation or something, Dano. Odin. Hey, I'm doing pretty well. I think I missed you. It's been a lot going on with all the trolls. Yeah, you were on a cruise? Oh, man. Totally wish I was there with you. That would have been fun. Hey, Joshy. How are you? I feel like it's been like a month since I've said hi to you. Maybe even longer. Were you on a cruise too? $269 for 5 days, all food included, to the Caribbean. Nice. Fantastic. That's a little over $50 a day. Ozarks, you were in the hospital? Oh man, what happened? I'm glad you're out of the hospital. I hope you're out of the hospital. I do have a lazy eye, or did, and then I had surgery. Hopefully it's not coming back. Yeah, it's always good to see Josh. I think googly eyes is like when you look at someone like, ooh, they are so hot. And like, it's that, I'd like to get to know you. All right. You're glad to be off for the summer. Am I? Other jobs, no summer off? Yes. Oh, yes, that's true. I'm not quite off. I have one more. This time next week, I will finally be off for the summer. But until then, go, go, go. I was doing fraction subtraction today. Oh, so the Supreme Court ruled Trump's travel ban unconstitutional. What do I make of that? I wonder. Thanks, Ozark. I am pretty excited. $8,000 to teach summer school for a month. That's pretty cool. But I'm glad you turned it down. I don't know if I would have turned that down. That's quite a bit of money. $8,000 in a month? Yeah, I could come out and do that. Well, it is offensive to say you're voting for someone else. I hope you really are just kidding and you're just going to vote for David. Or if you're going to vote for somebody else, then just don't talk about it in here. Because he gets pretty good money and he teaches all year long. That's why he's not going to teach summer school for a month for $8,000. That's more than I think they pay out here, though. I wonder if you do get paid more than they pay out here. All right, new clue. Who was a Greek hero in the Trojan War who helped bring about the fall of Troy by conceiving the ruse of the Trojan horse? After Troy was ruined, he wandered for 10 years trying to return home, having many adventures along the way. Yes, all the time I try to teach people that just look at me funny. It ain't easy. I know. That's what I was doing today, trying to teach subtraction fraction. Subtracting fractions, yes. And it had common denominators, so it wasn't that difficult. Oh, I Love Fries wants to chat with Captain. Okay, sorry, Captain. No one has it yet. It's not Sparta or Helen or Ajax or Achilles. The story of this person's journey home is told by something of Homer. By extension, there's a name that is any long or difficult journey or transformation. Ulysses? Getting there. Fourth, flat. Well, you know what I do, Danelle. Draw a picture on graph paper. Could be, teacher. Flat is right. It is Odysseus. And it was written about in the Odyssey of Homer. You love math trivia? We do math trivia on Saturday? Yeah, Saturday. Captain, close enough. You win. All right. In classical mythology, who was a tragic king who unknowingly killed his father and married his mother? It's kind of bizarre. Yes, graph paper and yes. And then crossing out for fractions. The Delphic oracle predicted that King Laius of Thebes, a city in Greece, would be killed by his own son. Correct, Frankenstein, but Captain got it first. Good job, Captain. Good job, Frankenstein. Good job, Durston. It is Oedipus. To save himself, Laius ordered his newborn son placed on a mountaintop and left to starve. The infant was rescued by a shepherd and raised in a distant city, where he was given the name Oedipus. Years later, King Laius was killed while on a journey by a stranger with whom he quarreled. Oedipus arrived at Thebes shortly thereafter and saved the city from the ravages of the Sphinx. He was proclaimed king in Laius' stead, and he took the dead king's widow, Jocasta, as his own wife. After several years, a terrible plague struck Thebes. The Delphic oracle told Oedipus that to end the plague, he must find and punish the murderer of King Laius. In the course of his investigation, Oedipus discovered that he himself was a killer and that Laius had been his real father. He had therefore murdered his father and married his mother, Jocasta. In his despair at this discovery, Oedipus blinded himself.
Oedipus complex.
The story of Oedipus is the subject of the play Oedipus Rex by Sophocles. The Oedipus complex, identified by the psychoanalyst Sigmund Freud, takes its name from the story of Oedipus. I never knew the story of Oedipus. All right.
I didn't either.
Thank
Oedipus
you.
Rex. So you say I could just go into Facebook over there and start the video of the same protocols on a laptop? That should be okay?
Yeah, but I started over here.
Oh no. Oh God, no. That'll shut down the system.
Well,
we did it
ready
yesterday.
right
It shut
now.
down the system.
As long as you don't click on any links, it's
Well, the whole show's about links. So we really need to have it over there. So if you don't mind me closing it down over there, I'm going to close this out. I can't burden this.
Are you saying watching it or broadcasting with it?
Broadcasting and watching. Yeah.
All right.
This computer is overtaxed.
Okay.
All right. Are you getting any breaking frames or lagging video at all? Thank you, Sarah. Well, of course I need a computer assistant, but it's been solid. Okay. Well, as long as I don't click links, she's right. Yeah. But the problem is, I love these links, and they are all good. Cornell and Paul McCartney admit in interviews they are replacements. I mean, I played this a little earlier. I'm going to play it again just as a teaser of what we're going to play tonight in our video show. But these guys both, yeah, very mysterious.
First and foremost musical influence was the Beatles.
I'm actually not Chris Cornell. I'm an actor. He died years ago, and his...
Okay, this is Chris Cornell, the person, and this person is claiming that Chris was replaced, and the person that died recently was his replacement.
Was the Beatles.
I'm actually not Chris Cornell. I'm an actor. He died years ago, and his management just decided, well, you know, they looked at what happened when Paul McCartney died and how they pulled that off so well. And I was hired. I'm taller than the original guy by 3 inches, but nobody ever really seemed to notice that.
No, never noticed.
No.
Never picked up on it. That's amazing.
Yeah.
She's got a ticket to ride. She's got a ticket to ride. She's got a ticket to ride. She don't care.
Without a shadow of a doubt, Paul McCartney was replaced.
Yeah.
Toward the end of the 60s, is that when?
We've got a good little thing from Russian Vids I'll be playing over there. I'll give you guys a link. If you want to track it on your own, feel free. And here is, I will add it to the coming show as we record these things into the evening. We play them, I should say. Cool. You have something? Scissorfied has something?
Probably my first and foremost music.
Let's take a look at Scissorfied. Time heals all wounds. Yeah, well, with this this false flag guy, yeah, time heals all wounds. 24 hours to be exact. That's right. He had 4 bullets in the back, and he was released the next day. This crisis actor, allegedly, is one of many who sign a piece of paper confidentiality agreement, and they can't get out of it. I mean, you can go to Leavenworth if you violate these things. Deneau says, Dave, Mark said if you accuse him of censoring again, he'll start doing it. That's self-admittance. True, Deneau. Well, we have another person that says that Mark admitted to getting $100,000 a month on his show. I just don't have a copy of it. Hey, Doopster. You were questioning why Mark was censoring you. He stated, I'm out of my mind. No one's stalking you. I was straight and forward, and he answered me 4 times. Yeah, he lies incessantly. He's just categorically denying the censorship that he's doing in our room. And I'll tell you, if Mark isn't doing it, somebody's in charge of his network is doing it. So maybe Mark doesn't even have the network anymore. It may have been taken over by somebody else. Mark may have, handed it over as part of the agreement. I don't know. I've never told a lie, no. I'm being honest. I completely tell the truth. People say, hey, do you work? I retired. I used to work. I worked long enough and hard enough and I save my money like no other. I don't know anybody who saves money like I do. I mean, you can see my video show on Thursday, and you see all the different ways I save money with food money. And I eat really well, too. Non-GMO, organic food. And I make meals for amazingly low cost. So I've been doing that all my life. Somebody said, how many years in one job have you been? I said, well, I've been a cook for 40 years. 45 years, actually 50. I started cooking at 10 years old, and I'd make a point of cooking for people around me. I just don't get paid for it, But the real issue is, number one, guest chat is off, and Mark is going to continue to lie. I can't correct his ways, and he's just going to stonewall everybody who questions him about the censoring. So it's kind of a non-issue. I found that out after 2 conversations with him, one in person on the phone and one online. So it's really, he's just going to deny it. I'm going to keep saying that he is doing it. So, and I know in my heart that he is doing it. Whether he knows in his heart that he's not doing it and receiving money, that's a different story. Yeah, I know. I pretty much, the traffic that I've driven to this site absolutely controlled the destiny of this man, and I feel sorry for him in many ways. I think he's forced to take this. It's like, I'm gonna make a deal with some serious people here, and I don't want to make this any harder on you, but you're gonna have to take the offer we're gonna give you. Well, there's gonna be very bad things happen, that kind of thing. I don't know. I don't control Sarah's life. She's totally on her own. She has her own bank accounts, everything. Yeah, Mark never turns on guest chat. I'm with you. He shuts people down. You guys who are coming in here, I know that you've been fighting to get in here with multiple screens of hitting refresh over and over again. I know that. And I know that I can't solve your problem right now, which really frustrates me because I've been trying different avenues and we've run into blocks. We believe that a government organization called Echelon is secretly working behind the scenes, the backbone of the internet, using powerful DDoSing attacks on key server points where we are sending people, they lock them down. Yeah, he's just going to continue to block IPs, and the cell fire is there, yeah. No, Sarah and I eat very well. In fact, my food that is expired is not really unsafe. I mean, any food that I've ever eaten, I've always made sure it was safe. In fact, the food that's old is really quite amazing. I mean, we've got beans from 19 or 2000 and 1998. I think 1998. We got beans from that time period. Dried milk doesn't go bad. So I mean, this is pre-radiation, pre-Fukushima milk too. It's a not 2 times straight, then said she bought 2. No, I think that these things are really good to travel. You put them in your luggage and they don't wrinkle. So I think you're off your mark there, dude. Women use these to like go around and look nice without having to worry about wrinkles. I will use powdered milk when whatever is coming comes. I've got a couple ways in which I mix powdered milk with my vanilla non-GMO soy milk, and you can make a pretty decent milk in a survival situation. Non-fat powdered milk is really bad, though. I mean, it sucks, but it's better than nothing. I mean, it's like water. Good to be dude. Yeah. No, I'm not a control freak, and I'm going to ask you to stop saying that, or we are going to ban you. Now, I've muted you 5 times now. If you don't stop saying that, I'm going to ban you. Thank you. So all of you, this is the future, where we're headed with the deep state and Donald Trump and Henry Kissinger. We'll be looking at a nuclear war probably within the next couple of years. Dick Cheney claimed that he definitely felt that there would be a small nuclear engagement in the next 10 years. He said that. Oh, now I'm banning you, dude. Yep, there you go. That's it for you. Bye. The test was crazy. Yeah, they put a lot of people at risk. Now, Donald Trump has come out openly with his gathering of, we bored people, 11 minutes of boredom in our show earlier. Absolute boredom. And we had this little clip here of him talking, and he introduces everybody. I'll give you a little sample of the whole thing.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much.
Now, most of the interview, Donald Trump was in...
President, where is our vice president? Our vice president. They're together. They needed to hear.
Thank you.
Most of the interview, he had his arms crossed. And this was every single person. It was a roundtable discussion of his entire cabinet. They went person to person, talking about their roles in our government. Let me give you a sample of this boredom.
Mr. President, it's a new day at the United Nations. You know, we now have a very strong voice. People know what the United States is for, they know what we're against, and they see us leading across the board. And really? So I think the international community knows we're back.
Thank you. Back. Okay.
It's true. Mr. President, thank you for the kind.
Could I interrupt that because we're not back. Actually, we're letting the UN literally send in vehicles and park them in Galveston, Texas, in readiness for a major event. We're allowing the UN to camp here. We've continued the UN resettlement program under this woman that just said we're with the UN, we're leading the UN. We're still taking in Muslims and other refugees, which, you know, I personally don't have a problem with Muslims per se, but Donald does. That's why he's not getting the travel ban passed. That's reached the point of no-go. They just continued the appeals court ruling on that. Oh, by the way, there's artichoke, Sarah. Sarah? Sarah? Oh, she's in the room. David, I'm a conservative woman who's a teacher in New Hampshire, and I have many political questions. Do you stand for immigrants or against? I'm in favor of what I call fast-track naturalization. And do you think our country is a mess that won't come up? I don't. I have hope for the country. I really do. But I don't have a hope for a lot of the people that troll our show thinking that Trump is going to save the day. As far as immigrants are concerned, we have a fast-track naturalization program we spearheaded back in the early days that will give people a chance to come into our country legally. But they'll be a U.S. citizen by the time they get in here. Thank you for coming in. Apparently that teacher didn't like my response. Okay. So meeting with the cabinet, I have a little clip of a few of these meetings here.
I am deeply honored, and I am committed and optimistic that we can be both great stewards and be the world's largest producer of energy.
And you can do both. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Mr. President, thank you for the honor to serve the country. It's a great privilege you've given me. Clearly, we are engaged with our allies to ensure that they know where our common interests lie, what our expectations are, that America will continue to be a leader, but they must do more. They must meet their obligations both from a national security standpoint, but also for creating conditions of stability, prosperity, and for our adversaries. We are engaging and will engage, but they have to be